So now I want you to talk to me a little bit more about when I'm thinking a thought and when I'm receiving an inspiration.
Yeah. So first clue is that when you're receiving inspiration, it's satisfying. When you're receiving a thought, that means you're in the receptive mode. You feel the rightness of it, you feel the exhilaration of it, and it usually quickly moves you to the desire to move toward it in some form of action, to say something, to go somewhere, to do something. When you're thinking a thought, it's often a thought about...
I get it, in a circle. It's a circular thought of, and you're thinking it around.
Let us make a strong statement to you. When you are focused on a problem, you cannot think your way out of it. This is in answer to your question. When you're focused on a problem, you cannot think your way out of it. You can only think your way deeper into it, because law of attraction will only bring you more of whatever the problem is. But during that process, while you are thinking of the problem, you're going to like this so much.
I can tell.
What's your inner being doing? While you're thinking of the problem, what's your inner being doing?
Holding steady on what I want.
When you're thinking of the problem, what's your inner being doing? Thinking of the solution. So when you're thinking of the problem, when you ask, it is given. Yes? So when you're thinking of the problem, your inner being is thinking of the solution. But how can you start receiving the inspiration from your inner being of the solution? You've got to deactivate the problem. Because if you've got both going on, you're not going to get it. That's one powerful way that you can tell when you're projecting thought and when you're receiving thought. Now, does that mean, oh, we like this conversation so much. Does that mean that you never get to think a thought when you're in line with source energy? Not at all. Because when you are in that receiving mode and the thought is occurring to you, you're the one that's translating that vibration into the more vivid conversation.
Like we're doing right now.
Precisely. And then it becomes this sort of give and take. Life is yielding it to you and you're eating that's ready to be 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 ready. Esther is in the mode of receiving now. She made sure that she's in the receiving mode. So she's just waiting for the block of thought to occur to her. She's translating it at an unconscious level. And when she's first aware of it, it's when it's coming out into this arena. In other words, she's not aware of what's coming before. So it's like that with all of you. But when you're thinking a thought, think about it. Think about when you think about it.
No, don't.
No, don't. Think about when you're thinking a thought. Can't you feel the effort in it? Mm-hmm. Can't you feel the difference between receiving a thought and thinking a thought? And isn't there effort in thinking the thought? How many times have you heard of famous people, sometimes inventors, scientists, sometimes philosophers, who have got stuck on something and then they take a 20-minute nap? And during that nap, the answer comes to them because they suspend the activation of their struggle with the problem and they allow their clearly stated question to be answered by their quieted mind.